What's up, all? This is Steve, and I am in Leon, Mexico, preparing for an ayahuasca ceremony. So, just kind of getting set up now. People are just starting to arrive, so it'll be another hour or so before we probably get started. But just kind of wanted to check in. Um, I'm feeling a little interesting. I've done this, multiple times, but just this one time, it's a new place, new shaman. You've never been here before, so maybe it's a little something. So just gonna do a little meditation before we get started, and kind of just get into the zone. All right, peace. I'll check in later. Bye. So I've had a few days now to really kind of process the ayahuasca experience. And I've just been thinking, how do you take 4 hours worth of traveling through other dimensions, connecting with infinite intelligence, and really condense that into to really share what that experience is in a way that's articulated and understandable for someone who's not done ayahuasca. And so today I'm going to give you just three things that I got from my ayahuasca experience here in Leon. Okay, so number one is maybe the least significant. For the last about 6 months, I've had some pain in my neck, where it's very, very stiff, not where it was, overly excruciating, but definitely noticeable 90% of the time. And I've gone to a few massage therapists, gotten a little bit of work done on it, really to no avail. And so I was laying on the ground, kind of finishing up that ayahuasca experience, so to speak, and it kind of came to me about how my neck has been so painful. And so I begin to see myself laying on the ground, and in that kind of vision, or kind of looking down on myself, if you will, my neck was very, very bent, even though I know that's not exactly how I was laying. And all of a sudden I saw just this rush of energy come to that area. Red, kind of like almost like lightning bolt streaks throughout my neck. And when that ended, and I kind of came back to reality, if you will, no pain in my neck. I've had no problem at all since then. So number one thing, total physical healing in my neck. Okay, so number two, the second thing I really got out of that ayahuasca experience is I went in with the intent of really maybe knowing God or understanding God, infinite intelligence, source, universal energy consciousness at a much deeper level. And so in previous ayahuasca experiences, they've been very more, maybe I'll say psychedelic, where, the kaleidoscope colors and all those things. And this one was much more almost like standing before this, supreme consciousness, if you will, and just asking questions, the questions that I had. And I've been on this really kind of in-depth spiritual path and really trying to kind of get deeper understanding in some areas. And so the thing that kept coming back, or what kind of kept getting spoke to my own consciousness, was God is love. And everything God does is really an act of love, that God cannot do anything outside of his own nature. Now, when I say that, it's not that God loves. It's not like he loves unconditionally, or that he acts lovingly. It's that at his very core, he is love. Therefore, he cannot do anything outside of his own nature. So everything is an act of love. So the third thing that really stuck out for me as I've been kind of remembering the ayahuasca experience is who I am. That was, one of the questions that I really came in with, is a deeper understanding of who I truly am. Now, oftentimes, of course, we identify with our body, maybe we identify with our mindset, our thinking, but who are we truly? And at our core, we are a spiritual being that's having a human experience. And we can study these things and really, kind of get the scientific method behind it. But what does that really mean? How do I really relate with that or live from that? How do I live as the observer, if you will, or really identify with my true self and my true nature? Now, growing up in a very Christian home, we identified God as being, somewhere out there. Maybe he's hanging out in heaven. He's angry a good deal of the time. And when I mess things up, he's going to send me to the eternal lake of fire to burn forever, which of course is inconsistent with being a loving God. But the truth of the matter is that God lives within us. We could even say that we're one with God. We are co-creators with Him. We are the embodiment of God. God's manifesting Himself through us. This truth is not dependent upon your acknowledgement of it. You are the embodiment of God at your very core. Now, one thing in this process that came up for me was I noticed that I've become somewhat judgmental, especially with the pandemic, with some of the political unrest, the riots that have taken place in the United States and around the world for that matter. I've kind of looked with a very much of a critical eye, and something that came up was really seeing people for who they truly are, seeing their true nature, seeing their own divinity, if you will. Now, in this process, and this is going to sound quite strange, but I saw myself kind of removed from my body, if you will, that my true self was having a conversation with Steve. And in that conversation, there's a bit of a commission. And this is kind of, a hard thing to share. This is almost an embarrassing thing to share, or, it's a very personal experience. And in that conversation, it was, Steve, you need to help people see themselves for who they truly are. That was kind of the commission that was given to me. And that's ultimately going to be the direction of this channel. Because when we really know who we are, it eliminates the fear. It eliminates the suffering. It eliminates so many issues and problems in our life. You see, what most of us are doing is we're going outside of ourselves to look for the solutions. If I get this promotion at work, I'll be happy. If I make more money, I can buy a new car or have a nicer house. That's going to solve all my issues. Or have the right relationship, meet the right person. Yet the joy and the peace and the happiness that we're all looking for are things that can be discovered when we look inside. Now, I'm by no means putting down getting the promotion at work or having the right relationship or nice homes and nice cars. Nothing wrong with any of that. But those are not the things that are going to give ultimate fulfillment. We want to find fulfillment inside of ourselves and allow that to really accentuate the feeling that we already have within us. So at the end of this video, I've attached another video that I'd really like you to watch. I'm also going to put the link in the description section. That video is entitled, Who Am I? Or Who Are You Really? It was a video I did out on the beach where I give a really good example and analogy of kind of who you truly are. But here's kind of the truth of the matter there, is most of us don't need more videos. We don't need more training or more teaching. What we need is to really experience it. How we really get these understandings. Remember, spiritual awareness is not something that we achieve. We don't somehow, go through and we find some awakening. Those things are already inside of us. We just realize it. This is about really understanding and realizing what we already do know. And so what I've done is I've actually put together a meditation. This meditation is going to help you really discover who you truly are and get that deeper level of awareness. Now, I would highly recommend that you commit to this for 21 days, but if you just do it for a week, for 7 days, every single day for 7 days, I guarantee you it's going to really help you get a deeper level of awareness. So one, I'll put the link to that particular video. It's a good thing to watch, but more so, we want to create the experience, not just the intellectual teaching. So I'm also going to put the link to that meditation. Again, it's about 12 minutes long. Do that for 7 days. And I'll tell you what, it'll give you a completely different perspective on who you are, which will give you a completely different perspective on the life that you live. But listen, you can be this happy, joyful, at peace individual. That's who you were meant to be. This life was meant to be lived powerfully, lovingly. It wasn't meant to be miserable and depressing and all these difficult things that we go through. So join me with that meditation. I hope you found this video enjoyable. If you did, make sure you like the video. As always, if you're new, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the meditation.